Welcome, everybody. Dominic here with Breakthrough Sessions. Tonight's topic is really something that I feel like we need to be asking ourselves in this time of need. Who can you count on? You see, we spend most of our lives trying to do more than what we ever imagined. And sometimes we're there for people and we're there for them so much that we keep piling on. We keep adding to the need. We keep adding to our overburdened schedules. We keep adding to our stresses. We keep adding to the things that us tired, the things that bring us to a point to where we feel like we're going to break. So the topic to me means a lot because right now it is about who can you count on. We never think about this until it's too late. We never ask ourselves the question of how many people can we truly count on. And we always put ourselves in the position to help so many more people, and that is natural. And that instinct is great. That heart, that caring, that ability to actually want to look for other people to help, it is something special. And everyone doesn't have it. But what I'm here today to talk to you about is really focusing on you. There comes a point in our lives where we put too much on our plate. There's comes a point in our lives where we need to understand when we need to say no. There comes a point in our life where we have to accept that we can't take care of other people until we've given ourselves the chance to take care of us. So each and every person that hears this message, let me be clear about what I'm trying to say to you. I'm trying to say that you have to know when to say no. That you have to know is that the more time you spend on other people, you need to make sure that your house is sound. You need to make sure that your soul, that your body, that your spirit, that your mind is right. And don't make commitments to other people, knowing that you're stretching your limitations, knowing that you're putting yourself out there in a way that actually takes away from all that you can give someone else. See, when our schedules are stacked and when we've helped as many people as we possibly can help, and we will continue to add on, when we continue to add on and on and on and on, when we continue to put more on the plate, knowing that we can no longer handle it, knowing that we are going to be able to do just enough, but maybe that enough isn't enough. And maybe sometimes you have to step back and you have to put yourself first. So I'm asking this question with sincerity. I'm asking this question because I care about what happens to you in 2021. And my hope is that you can actually sit down and you can put a spotlight on your life right now. And you can build a list for yourself. And one list should contain all the things that you have to take care of, all the things that you do right now, all the things that you're responsible for, that if you were no longer here tomorrow, how would they get done? What are those things? Who would have to call on you to pay a bill? Who would have to call on you to do a chore? Who would have to call on you to get the kids to practice? Who would have to call on you to make dinner? Who would have to call on you to be there in a time of need? And that list is overwhelming, I promise you. And the reason why I'm having this conversation is because something touched me. And I want to find a way to touch someone else before maybe it's too late. And sometimes we put our blinders on and we fail to see that what we actually owe to other people is the best that we can give them. And sometimes the best that we can give them, we're not even coming close because we're wrapped up in so many other things and we're saying yes and we're stretching ourselves to these limits and we're not able to give them everything that they need. We're not able to help them in the way that we need to be helping them. And sometimes we have to be okay with saying no, if that's the case. And that list, as it grows and as you sit down and as you write it, I want you to be honest. And I want you to take into consideration about everything that's on that list. And I want you to think about the time that you have to devote and all the energy that it takes from you and everything that you have to give to make sure that it's happening in a certain way, to make sure that the bill gets paid on time, to make sure that the kids get to school and get picked up and that meals are made and that everything on your list, you truly understand it. Because at the end of the day, there's a max out. And a lot of us are maxing out. A lot of us are maxing out and we're not even comprehending that we're maxed out. And then the second list that I want you to create to bring this to something that can impact you in a way that makes a difference, that helps you help yourself. I want you to create the second list of the people that you can count on if something were falling apart in your life. The people that you can count on to make sure that they got the kids picked up if you couldn't make it because you took a nap, to make sure you were rested. Those people that you can count on to say, hey, I can't quite make a payment this month and I'm struggling and I needed some guidance. I needed some help. I needed some assistance. Who are those people that you can call on? And many of us can't even hold up one hand and count at least 5 trustworthy people that when times were hard, they would be the ones to help us navigate through the stress, through the pain, through the anxiety, through the depression, through the feeling of lost, through the feeling of hopelessness. We don't even know 5 people who can help us do this. So my hope is tonight is that you take this seriously before you start to fall apart. And although you may not be telling anyone, you know, it shows. You're not giving everything you can. You're overhelping. And you have to pull yourself back in. And you have to handle the things that you can handle. And then you have to have other people that are around you that can help you corral the other things in your life that are open to helping you navigate through the times where you need it most. Because we can't take on this life alone. We can't take on everything in our life. But you must have someone that you can call on when it counts. You must have someone to ask for guidance, to ask for a lending hand when you need it, when you're about to break down. And you must have many of those people. Your list that you're making should somewhat be comparable. And if you're weighted on the side with your first list of what all would need to be taken care of if you were no longer here, what are those things that you take care of? When you're no longer here, who will do those things? And if your second list of all the people that you will be able to call in a time of need is shrinking, that is the reason the unbalanced life that causes us sometimes to be at our worst. It causes us sometimes to have more pain than we should. And it's a good time right now for us to find a way to balance these these two. Balance all the things that you're called upon to do and all the things that you have your hand in. Balance that with people that you can count on to help you do that in a time of need, to help give you a break, to help lower your stress level, to help when you do get into that stage of maybe I'm depressed, but I'm not 100% sure, but I need someone that I can lean on right now. And maybe I just need a day to myself, or maybe I need an afternoon. But if you balance those two lists and you find a way to make sure that they both have an equal amount on them, I believe that your life can change for the best. I believe that you can help even more people at a certain point in time, but you will be more prepared and you will be more ready, because when we fight with an army around us, that army is able to help more people. But when we fight things alone, then whatever it is that we're fighting becomes that much more difficult. And there are times where you will need to fight alone. There are times where you will be the only one that can face something. But that can't be every time. That can't be everything. And sometimes it takes us having the ability to know who we can call on, because our plate's full. And there are so many more good people out there that have the energy, that have the poise, that's in the right position to make sure that whomever you're deciding to help, that they get the best help, that they get the help that they deserve, that they get the help from someone who's willing to put in 120%. And that's what we owe to this life. That's what we owe to ourselves. I'm Dominick. This is Breakthrough Sessions. Like, share, comment. If you haven't already, subscribe. Good words come to those who choose to listen. And maybe those good words will be something that you can apply into your life, or maybe they're just a simple reminder for you to keep living a better life. You deserve every day, but you have to be willing to work for it. Have a great one.